I stood on the balcony of my new mansion, staring at the city lights that
You ever stop to think what all this means? The mansion, the cars, the deals.
Not really. I thought I wanted all this, but I'm not sure anymore.
You're saying the Empire doesn't matter?
It matters. But it's not the dream I thought it was. I thought having everything would heal the emptiness.
Dinner's ready, honey. You've been out here a long time.
I'm fine, Mom. Just thinking. Thinking about Lena? No. Thinking about me. About what I've built, what I've lost, and what really matters.
You're sounding philosophical now. Scary.
All this, the mansion, the money, the empire, they're just tools. But the dream, the real dream, was always about us.
You've grown so much, honey. But I've always believed in you.
I wake up to the smell of burnt toast and instant coffee. Mom's voice croaks from the kitchen. Breakfast, if you're hungry, honey. I roll out of bed, rubbing my eyes. Thanks, Mom. I'll grab something later. She coughs, a rattling sound that always makes my stomach knot. Don't skip it. You need energy for work. I know, I mumble, tying my worn sneakers. Lena is still asleep, curled under the thin blanket on the couch. I watch her for a moment, the way sunlight hits her hair, and I can't help smiling. One day, I whisper, we'll have a real place. A real life. At work, the manager yells at me over a spilled tray. Hurry up, get it together. Yes, sir, I mutter, my hands trembling. The tips aren't enough to pay the bills, but Lena's smile makes it bearable. She waits for me at the corner after my shift. Hey, she says, brushing hair from her face. Hey, I grin, trying not to notice the exhaustion lining her eyes. You're late, she teases. I thought you'd be faster today. Traffic, I lie, but she doesn't push it. That's what I love about her, she trusts me, even when life doesn't. On the bus home, I feel the hum of the city pressing around us. You ever think about leaving this place? I ask. All the time, she says softly. But we can't just run away. We can try, I insist, squeezing her hand. Together, we'll make something of ourselves. Promise me, Lena. She looks at me, eyes shining. I promise. Always. Dinner at Mom's is quiet. She coughs again, but this time I reach for her hand. I'll call the doctor tomorrow, I say. You don't have to, she whispers. I'm fine. Mom, you're not fine. You've got to take care of yourself. Lena watches us, silent. I notice she keeps checking her phone, her brows furrowed. I ask, everything okay? Yeah, she says quickly. Just tired. After dinner, I do the dishes. Lena sits by the window, scrolling her phone. I ask, who's texting? Just my cousin, she replies, not meeting my eyes. Something about the way she says it stings. I don't know, Lena. You seem distant lately. I'm fine, she insists. Really? I drop the dishcloth and sit across from her. Look at me. What's going on? She bites her lip and finally meets my gaze. I don't know. Life is just hard right now. I know it is, I say gently. But we're in this together. Always. She nods, but her eyes drift away. Walking home later, I carry groceries, my hands raw. Lena lags behind, quiet. I try to make conversation. Remember when we first met at that old cafe? She laughs softly. You spilled coffee on me. And you laughed instead of screaming, I remind her. That was the first time I liked you, she admits, smiling faintly. Her smile fades as soon as it appears. Do you think we'll really get out of this, make a better life? We will, I promise, gripping her hand tighter. I swear, Lena. One day, we'll look back and laugh at all this. Back at our small apartment, Mom's asleep. Lena sits on the couch, curled up. I stand in the doorway, watching. I love you, I whisper. I love you too, she murmurs, voice tired. Lately, our love feels heavier, like it's carrying all the weight the world throws at us. She's quieter, I'm more anxious. Sometimes, I catch her staring into space, and I ask, are you okay? I'm fine, she always says. I want to believe her, and for now, I do. I fall asleep on the floor beside her, thinking about tomorrow, about work, about Mom, about bills, about us. I think about the promise she made and the one I made, to survive, to rise, to never give up. Even if the world is cruel, even if money is scarce and life is unfair, we have each other. And right now, that feels like enough. I close my eyes, hearing her slow, steady breathing, and whisper, we'll be okay. I'll make sure of it. I had just finished my morning shift when I saw Lena at the cafe near my office, but she wasn't alone. My stomach dropped before I even understood why. There he was, with Victor, the guy from her work, the one she always complained about. But now, they weren't arguing. They were laughing. I stepped closer, trying not to make a scene, but my heart thumped so loudly I thought she'd hear it. Do you have to be so slow all the time? She said, smiling. Victor chuckled. Patience is a virtue, Lena. You'll get used to it. I froze. That tone, it wasn't friendly. It wasn't casual. I swallowed hard and stepped forward. Lena? My voice cracked. She looked up, eyes widening for a split second, then cooling. I didn't see you. You didn't see me? I asked, voice rising. We live together. What the hell is going on? Victor stood, flashing a charming grin. Hey, man. No hard feelings. I grit my teeth. Hard feelings? You're with my girlfriend. She's not yours, Victor said casually. Not anymore. Lena opened her mouth, but I cut her off. What do you mean, not anymore? She looked down at her hands. I can't do this anymore. Being poor, struggling all the time. I need more. I need security. I need him. You're leaving me, for him? My voice faltered, disbelief cutting through every word. I'm sorry, she whispered. I love you, but I can't stay like this. I need to live, not survive. I laughed bitterly, a sound that shocked even me. Live? Is that what you call this? You're choosing money over us, over me? Victor shrugged. It's called opportunity. She deserves better than whatever this is. You don't deserve better, I shouted, pointing at him. She deserves love, respect, someone who actually cares. Lena's eyes glistened with tears. I care. I do, but it's not enough. I can't explain it. You don't have to explain it, I said, shaking my head. I don't even want an explanation. I trusted you. I gave you everything I had. And this is how you repay me? I'm sorry, she said again, quieter this time. I felt my chest tighten, my throat raw. Sorry doesn't fix this, Lena. You just walked out on me. On us. On everything we promised. She flinched. I didn't mean to hurt you. Hurt me? You destroyed me. Victor stepped forward. Come on, Lena. Let's go. She hesitated, then followed him, casting one last glance at me. I'll never forget that look. It wasn't sadness, not really. It was determination. And betrayal. I watched them leave. My legs felt like lead, my heart a sinking stone. I turned around, but the street was empty now, cold. I whispered to myself, no, this isn't real. It can't be. When I got home, Mom was sitting on the couch, knitting. She looked up, noticing my face. Honey, what's wrong? I sank into a chair, unable to speak. My hands trembled. Mom, she left me. For him. She set her knitting aside, rushing to my side. What do you mean, for him? Who? I buried my face in my hands. Victor. That rich guy she works with. She chose him over me. Mom's eyes filled with tears. Oh, my boy. I'm so sorry. It's my fault, I said, shaking my head. I should have been better. I should have done something. You did everything you could, Mom said, holding me. This isn't your fault. I pulled away, anger rising through grief. No, Mom. She promised me forever. And now, she's gone. Just like that. I know it hurts, she whispered. But you're strong. You'll get through this. I stood up, pacing the room. Strong? How am I supposed to be strong when the person I trusted most, when the person I loved more than anything, leaves me for someone else? Just like that? Mom didn't answer. She just held me silently, letting me rage against the walls of our small apartment. Later that night, I called Ryan. I need to talk, I said, my voice shaking. I'm here, man. What happened? I told him everything, choking back tears. She's gone, Ryan. She walked out of my life. Just like that. Damn it, man. I'm so sorry. You don't deserve this. I know, I said bitterly. I thought we had a future. I thought we had forever. Ryan's voice softened. You're going to survive this. You're going to rise, even if you don't believe it now. I'll help you. I promise. I hung up and sat on my bed, staring at the ceiling. The apartment felt smaller, colder. Lena's absence was a physical weight pressing down on me. My chest ached, my stomach twisted. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't think straight. I whispered into the darkness, I'll never forget this. I won't forget you, Lena. And one day, things will be different. The night stretched endlessly. I cried silently, thinking about all we had, all we lost, and the hollow future that lay ahead. I realized something I hadn't before: life could be cruel, and love could betray you in a single heartbeat. And yet, I couldn't stop thinking about her. I woke up to silence, the kind that presses down on your chest. The apartment felt empty, colder than usual. Mom's chair was still turned toward the window, her knitting abandoned. I swallowed hard, realizing the full weight of what had happened. Lena was gone. I called Ryan first thing in the morning. "I can't do this alone," I said, my voice barely more than a whisper. "You're not alone, man," he said firmly. "I'll be over in an hour. We'll figure this out." I hung up and stared at the walls. Bills were stacked on the table, letters unopened. My stomach knotted. "How am I supposed to fix this?" I muttered. When Ryan arrived, he looked me over like he always did when I was about to break. "You look worse than yesterday." "Thanks for noticing," I snapped, though my voice lacked energy. "I feel worse." He crouched beside me. "Listen, you need a plan. You can't sit here crying." "I can't do anything, Ryan. She left me. Mom is sick. I'm broke. Everything's falling apart." "Then we start small. One thing at a time," he said. "You want breakfast?" I didn't answer. I watched him pour coffee, chew on a bagel. He glanced at me. "You've got to eat, or you'll collapse before you even start." "I can't. I don't even want to eat," I admitted. Mom appeared in the doorway, coughing softly. "Are you okay, honey?" I shook my head. "No, Mom. I'm not okay." Lena left. I don't know what to do. I can't even think straight. She came closer. "We'll manage. Don't let this destroy you. You're stronger than you think." "Stronger?" I asked, my voice breaking. "I'm falling apart, Mom. I can't see how I'll ever get back up." "You will," she whispered, touching my shoulder. "I believe in you." Ryan leaned back, sighing. "Look, man, you need more than just hope. You need guidance. I know someone who rebuilt his life from nothing. He's helped a lot of people like you." I stared at him. "You mean, someone who can teach me how not to be useless?" He grinned faintly. "Exactly. You want to meet him?" I hesitated. My pride screamed no, but desperation pushed me forward. "Yeah, okay. I'll meet him." That afternoon, we went to a small office on the outskirts of town. Mr. Hale, an older man with sharp eyes, looked me over and spoke before I could introduce myself. "You're broken," he said bluntly. "Thanks for the pep talk," I muttered, feeling my chest tighten. He ignored my sarcasm. "You need discipline, focus, and strategy. Not crying over lost love." I don't know if I can do it," I admitted, voice shaking. "Everything is too much." He leaned forward, voice steady. "Good. Recognizing the depth of your failure is the first step. Most people don't get this far." We spent hours talking. Ryan stayed mostly silent, letting me spill every detail of Lena, the betrayal, the heartbreak. Mr. Hale asked questions, challenged me, forced me to think beyond my despair. "Pain is a tool," he said. "You can either let it crush you or use it to build something stronger. Which do you choose?" I clenched my fists. I want to survive. I want to come back stronger." He nodded slowly. "Then start. Today. No excuses. No waiting for luck." I left that office feeling hollow but determined. For the first time in days, I felt a spark, tiny but real. Ryan put a hand on my shoulder. "This is your chance. You can rebuild, I know it." "I hope so," I admitted. I don't want to fail again." Back at the apartment, Mom was asleep. I sat on the floor, looking at her, thinking about everything I had lost. Lena's face flashed in my mind, followed by Victor's smug smile. Rage bubbled under grief, but I pushed it down, focusing instead on the plan forming in my head. I whispered to myself, I can't change the past, but I can change tomorrow. I have to. The night stretched on, long and silent, but for the first time, I didn't feel completely powerless. I had a purpose now. I had to survive. And maybe, one day, I would rise so high that she would regret leaving me. The first day I started my rebuilding journey, I hated every second. My hands ached, my feet were blistered, and my body wanted to quit before it even began. Ryan was there, pacing beside me. "You're whining already?" he asked. "I'm not whining," I snapped, though my voice betrayed me. "I'm tired. Exhausted." "Good," he said. "Then you'll know what it takes to survive. Pain is the first lesson." Mr. Hale arrived an hour later, sharp and unyielding as ever. "You can't rebuild with excuses," he said. "Weakness is a choice. Are you ready to stop being weak?" I'm ready," I muttered, though my knees shook. "You'll need more than words. You'll need discipline. You'll need to fight every day to become the man you were meant to be." The weeks that followed were brutal. I woke before sunrise, worked multiple jobs, and studied business, finances, and strategy late into the night. Ryan checked in constantly. "You sure you don't want to rest?" he'd ask. "I can't," I replied. "I can't waste another second. I've lost too much already." At first, I stumbled constantly. I made mistakes, lost money, and felt the weight of every failure crushing me. Mr. Hale didn't let me quit. "Failure is a teacher, not a punishment," he said. "I'm tired of failing," I said, voice raw. "I'm so tired." "Good," he replied. "Use it. Let it fuel you. Let it make you unstoppable." One evening, I met Daniel, a sharp-minded businessman, and Maya, a calm financial advisor. They questioned me relentlessly. "Why do you want to do this?" Daniel asked. "I want to prove that I'm not weak," I said. Maya tilted her head. "Not weak or not defeated?" "Both," I admitted. "I want to rise. I want control over my life, over my future." They exchanged a look and nodded. "Then we'll help you," Daniel said. Months passed in a blur. I barely slept. Every day I pushed harder, learning, failing, getting up again. I thought about Lena sometimes, fleetingly, and I felt anger rise like fire through my veins. But I buried it under focus, under discipline. Rage had no room here, only progress mattered. One night, Ryan asked, "Do you ever think about her?" "Sometimes," I admitted. "But thinking won't get me anywhere. I have to focus on what I can control. Me. My life." "You've changed," he said, almost awed. "I had to," I replied. "I can't be the same person who let everything slip away." By the end of the year, I barely recognized myself in the mirror. My body was stronger, my mind sharper, my patience infinite. I had learned to read people, anticipate moves, plan, and execute. But the hardest lesson was still emotional, learning to trust myself and my judgment again. One evening, I stood on the small balcony of my apartment, looking at the city lights, feeling a strange mix of exhaustion and satisfaction. Ryan leaned beside me. "You're not the same man who started this journey." "No," I said, gripping the railing. "I'm something new. Harder, smarter, stronger. But it doesn't feel complete." Not yet. Maya called later, sending me the first numbers for our business plan. Daniel added projections. I realized we were building something real, something that could never be taken from me. This is it, I said quietly. This is the start of everything I've ever wanted. As I lay in bed that night, my mind raced with possibilities. The pain of Lena's betrayal still lingered, but it no longer defined me. I had been broken, and now I was rebuilding, stone by stone, until I became unstoppable. And deep down, I knew, one day, she would see what she lost. I remember the first time I walked into my new office, the smell of fresh paint and polished wood hitting me like a slap. Daniel clapped me on the back. Welcome to your empire, man. We've worked hard, and now it's yours to run. I can't believe it, I admitted, staring at the skyline beyond the glass. All this, mine? Not just mine, Daniel said, smirking. Ours. But mostly yours. You earned it. Maya joined us, papers in hand. Numbers look good. You're on track to double our revenue in 6 months. I'll settle for dominating this city first, I joked, though a tight knot of pride and tension sat in my chest. Success felt strange. I should have been elated, but every congratulation felt hollow. The nights were the hardest, lying in my penthouse apartment, thinking about Lena, Victor, and everything I'd lost. I kept reminding myself, I didn't rebuild to dwell on the past, I rebuilt to control the future. One evening, Daniel leaned against my desk. You're not sleeping much. I can't, I said honestly. Success is fragile. One wrong move and it's gone. You're obsessed, he said, shaking his head. Maybe, I admitted. But obsession beats being powerless. Always. Then came the first hint of karma. I learned Victor's company was failing, mismanaged, overextended, and unprepared for competition. I resisted the satisfaction rising in my chest. Ryan, are you seeing this? I asked over the phone. I see it, he said, cautious. Careful, man. Don't get distracted by revenge. It's not revenge, I said, voice tight. It's natural consequences. Still, the thought of Lena gnawed at me. I heard she married Victor, but everyone said it was tense, unstable. I clenched my fists. Good, I muttered under my breath. Let him deal with what he deserves. At a gala one night, I overheard Victor boasting about his acquisitions. I leaned close to Daniel. Watch him squirm. His empire won't last. Daniel smiled, low and dangerous. You're enjoying this too much. I'm not, I said, though my grin betrayed me. I'm observing history. Maya glanced at me over her glasses. Careful. Power comes with responsibilities. Don't let anger cloud judgment. I'm aware, I said curtly. Anger is fuel, not control. Ryan stopped by my office late one night. Do you ever think about her? Sometimes, I admitted. But only to remind myself why I started this. You've changed, he said softly. You're stronger. Smarter. Harder. Yeah, I said, staring out the window at the city lights. I've had to be. I can't afford anything else. I worked harder than ever, building my company, making deals, outmaneuvering rivals. Every decision was precise, calculated, ruthless when necessary. And every night, I felt Lena's absence like a shadow over my shoulder, reminding me of betrayal and loss. Victor's empire crumbled piece by piece. I resisted the urge to gloat, though it tempted me. Instead, I focused on me, my company, my team, my power. And still, late at night, I whispered to myself, one day, she'll realize what she left behind. And by then, it won't matter. I'll be untouchable. That's the moment I understood the truth. Power comes with a price. But the price was worth paying, because for the first time, I felt in control of my life. No one could take it from me again. I was in my office when Ryan called. "You need to see this," he said, voice tight. "What is it?" I asked, curious but wary. "Lena, she's in trouble. Big trouble. And it's all hitting Victor's empire." My stomach dropped. "What happened?" "Financial disaster. Bad investments, lawsuits, everything's falling apart." I leaned back, my mind racing. Part of me wanted to feel satisfaction, but another part, still human, still scarred, hesitated. "I don't want to enjoy this," I muttered. "You don't have to enjoy it. Just watch history unfold," Ryan said. Later, I drove past the street near her apartment. I saw her through the window, tears streaking her face. She looked smaller somehow, diminished. She didn't see me. I didn't move. I just watched. I whispered to myself, this is karma. Or fate. Or both. You chose this path. That night, I met Daniel and Maya in the office. "Victor's empire is collapsing," Daniel said, shaking his head. "And Lena's caught in the middle." Maya frowned. "Do you think we should intervene?" "No," I said firmly. "Let the consequences unfold. Let them feel what they caused. I've learned enough to know that some lessons have to be lived." Ryan leaned against my desk, skeptical. "You're not angry?" "I'm beyond anger," I said slowly. "This isn't about revenge. It's about control. I'm building my life. They're losing theirs. That's all the justice I need." Weeks passed. I heard snippets from the business world, Lena crying in public, Victor screaming at advisors, lawsuits piling up. Each report tightened the grip of satisfaction and detachment inside me. But I didn't gloat openly. I didn't text her, I didn't call. I stayed distant. One evening, Ryan nudged me. "You know she's watching your success too, right?" "I know," I said. "And it doesn't matter. She'll never have it." "Are you sure you're not waiting for her to beg?" I froze, the thought uncomfortable. "I'm not waiting. I see it coming. And when it happens, I'll be ready. Emotionally ready. Not for revenge, but for closure." Then it happened. I saw her standing outside my mansion one night, rain soaking her hair, mascara running down her cheeks. I didn't move at first. I just let her cry, let the wind whip around her. She whispered through trembling lips, "Please. I made a mistake. I was wrong. I need you. Please, just one chance." I felt my chest tighten. Memories of her betrayal and my heartbreak collided with years of struggle, sweat, and discipline. I wanted to scream at her, to tell her how much she destroyed me. But I stayed quiet. I didn't move. I let her words hang in the air. "Lena," I finally said, voice low and calm. "Do you understand what you've lost?" Tears streamed down her face. Yes, I do. I'm sorry. Please. I'll do anything." "You can't," I said, voice firm. "You made your choice. And now, you're facing the consequences." She fell to her knees in the rain, begging. I turned away, letting the door close between us without a word. For the first time, I realized something important. I no longer needed her validation, her love, or her apology. I whispered to myself as I walked into my mansion, warmth and quiet filling me. I survived. I rose. And nothing, no one, can take that away. I opened the door and saw her standing there, drenched, trembling, mascara running down her cheeks. My first instinct was to slam the door. My second was to scream at her. But instead, I just stood there. Silent. Watching. I didn't know where else to go, she whispered. Really? I asked, voice low. You didn't know where else to go, after everything? Her lips trembled. I was wrong. I made a mistake. Please, I'm begging you, just one chance, do you hear yourself? I said, stepping closer. Do you know what you're saying? I know, and I'm sorry, she cried. I didn't understand. I was scared. I was selfish. Selfish? I interrupted. Selfish? Lena, you left me. You left everything we promised, everything we built together. You walked out for him. For money. I didn't mean to hurt you, she sobbed. I thought I was doing the right thing. I shook my head, rage and grief twisting inside me. The right thing? The right thing is what we promised each other, Lena. The right thing is loyalty. The right thing is love. Do you even know what that word means? Her hands shook as she clutched her coat. I do. I was weak. I wanted more. I made a mistake. Please, I can fix it. I can. I can be better. I swear. I stepped back, breathing heavily, my fists tight. Better? Do you know how much I suffered? How I cried every night while you were out there, smiling at him. Do you know how small I felt, Mom sick, bills stacking, and you, your love just gone? She shook her head rapidly, tears pouring. I didn't see it that way. I didn't realize, please. I'll do anything. I swallowed hard, the memories hitting like a tidal wave. I remembered every argument we didn't have, every silent dinner, every time she checked her phone instead of me. Anything? I asked. Do you even know what that means? Do you know what it cost me? I do now, she screamed, voice breaking. I know. I know it was wrong. I'm begging you, please, just don't hate me forever. I looked at her, really looked, and for the first time, I didn't see the girl I loved. I saw the girl who betrayed me, who chose someone else over everything we had. Yet, a small part of me still remembered her laugh, her warmth, the way she used to hold my hand. I could feel my heart split in two. Lena. I can't hate you forever, I said slowly, voice tight. But I can't. I can't go back. Not after everything. She collapsed to her knees, shaking. Please, please just tell me there's a chance. I'll do anything. Anything. No, I said quietly. There's no chance for us. You made your choice. You faced the consequences. And now, it's time I face mine. Walking away from you, from her, that's my choice. She looked up, shock and pleading in her eyes. You're just leaving me? After everything? Yes, I said, calm now, more sure than I had been in years. Because I survived. I rebuilt. I became stronger. And I don't need you to complete me anymore. I don't need your apology or your begging. I've risen above it all. Her shoulders shook violently as tears streamed down her face. I understand. I'm so sorry. I turned, walking past her without a backward glance. Goodbye, Lena, I whispered. The door closed behind me. I leaned against it, my chest tight, my mind racing. For the first time in years, I felt an odd sense of peace. I had faced the past, and I had chosen myself. Later that night, I stood on my balcony, watching the city lights. Rain dripped from the roof, the cold wind brushing my face. I whispered to myself, I survived. I rose. And no one can take this from me. The next morning, I sat in my office, staring at the city below. Lena's face flashed in my mind again, but this time, it wasn't pain, it was a test. I whispered to myself, what do I want? Revenge? Forgiveness? Peace? Ryan walked in, coffee in hand. You've been quiet all morning. Thinking about her? I am, I admitted. But not in the way you think. I'm thinking about what I want. How I move forward. He sat across from me. And? What's the answer? I don't want her back, I said firmly. I want peace. I want control over my own life. Maya entered, files in hand. Big decisions today? Big decisions every day, I said. But today, it's personal. You're talking about Lena, she said softly. I nodded. I could humiliate her, make her regret everything. Or I could forgive her and let her go. Either way, I win. But one path keeps me tied to the past. One sets me free. Ryan leaned forward. Then choose freedom. You've earned it. Don't let anyone, even her, control your emotions again. I know, I said, taking a deep breath. I've suffered. I've grown. And I refuse to let her pain dictate the rest of my life. Later, Lena showed up at my office door. Her eyes red, her hands trembling. I know you don't want to see me, but please. I need to explain. Explain? I asked, voice calm but firm. You left me. You broke every promise. What is there to explain? I was scared, weak, stupid, she said, sobbing. I lost myself. But I've changed. I want to make things right. You can't, I said slowly. You can't undo the past. You can't fix what you broke. You can only move forward, like I am. She flinched, staring at me. So, this is it? No second chance? No second chance, I said, voice steady. Not with me. But I won't leave you in ruin. You've suffered enough. Find your own path. Learn from it. Her tears fell silently. I understand, she whispered. Thank you for not hating me completely. I nodded. I've forgiven you. That doesn't mean I'm going back. That means I'm choosing myself. Always myself. After she left, I sank into my chair, chest tight, heart racing. Ryan leaned over the desk. You really did it. You let her go, and you didn't collapse. I didn't collapse, I said. I survived. I grew. And now, I can live without her. Without the pain controlling me. Maya smiled faintly. It's not easy. Most people never reach this point. I had no choice, I admitted. Pain forced me here. But now, I get to decide what comes next. I walked to the window, looking at the city. My reflection stared back at me, stronger, sharper, untouchable. I whispered, I am my own man. My choices define me, not anyone else. And today, I choose freedom. That night, I returned home. Mom was asleep, but I paused at the doorway, watching her peaceful face. I sat beside her, holding her hand. We're going to be okay, I whispered. I promise. I've finally chosen the life we deserve. Alone in the quiet, I felt the weight of the past lift. Lena, Victor, the betrayal, the pain, they were all behind me. I had survived. I had risen. And this time, nothing could shake me. I stood on the balcony of my new mansion, staring at the city lights that stretched like veins across the darkness. The wind cut through me, but I didn't feel cold. I felt alive, in control, finally free. Ryan came up behind me, sipping coffee. You ever stop to think what all this means? The mansion, the cars, the deals? I shrugged. Not really. I thought I wanted all this, but I'm not sure anymore. You're saying the empire doesn't matter? It matters, I admitted. But it's not the dream I thought it was. I thought having everything would heal the emptiness. Turns out, it doesn't. Mom appeared at the doorway, smiling softly. Dinner's ready, honey. You've been out here a long time. I'm fine, Mom, I said. Just thinking. She leaned against the railing. Thinking about Lena? I shook my head. No. Thinking about me. About what I've built, what I've lost, and what really matters. Ryan smirked. You're sounding philosophical now. Scary. I've realized something, I said. All this, the mansion, the money, the empire, they're just tools. Tools to live the life I want. But the dream, the real dream, was always about us. Mom, Ryan, the people who mattered. Not possessions. Mom reached out, touching my hand. You've grown so much, honey. But I've always believed in you. I know, I said, voice tight. And I finally believe in me too. I thought success meant having it all, but it's not about that. It's about having the strength to survive, to rise, to forgive, and to choose yourself. Ryan chuckled. I've never seen you so calm. Even when Lena begged, you didn't lose it. I didn't need to, I said. Because I realized, the past can't touch me unless I let it. I survived, I rebuilt, and I've become stronger. The mansion, it's just the backdrop now. That night, I walked through the empty halls of the mansion, the silence echoing around me. Each room was beautiful, perfect, but it felt hollow without purpose. I sat by the window, looking at the city. This isn't the dream, I whispered. The dream was never the mansion. It was rising above everything that tried to break me. I thought about Lena one last time, about Victor, about betrayal and heartbreak. I smiled faintly. They taught me everything I needed to know. Pain, loss, it forged me. And now, I'm free. I picked up my phone and called Ryan. Meet me at the cafe tomorrow, I said. No business, no deals. Just life. He laughed. Finally, you're thinking like a human again. Exactly, I said. The mansion is just walls. Life is what we make outside them. I looked out at the city again, the lights flickering like stars, and whispered, I survived. I rose. I chose myself. And now, the real dream begins. For the first time in years, I felt complete. Not because of wealth, not because of revenge, not because of anything I had lost, but because I had finally chosen the life I wanted. And nothing could take that away from me.